Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome to this course. My name is Arjen de Nobel, and I will guide you through the basics of Fusion 360 today. So, yeah, my colleague Niels will help you with any questions. You can ask your questions by the question and answer in the Zoom. Yeah, let's get started. What will we do today? Well, we are going to go through the basics of Fusion 360, and this all starts by the user interface. So I will go through the user interface. Then I will show you some basic modeling. And after we've done this basic modeling, I'm going to show you how to make a photorealistic render like you can see over here. And because it's almost Christmas, we have a Christmas theme today. So making a photorealistic render, I will show you that. And we are going to manufacture by making a turning program for a CNC machine. If there are any questions, you can ask them in the question and answer. My colleague Niels will answer them. But if there are unanswered questions, we will do that as last today. So the user interface of Fusion 360. I will go through the interface by showing it live. So I will go to Fusion now, and I will show you the interface. If you start Fusion, you will see this screen. And on this screen, we have an application bar. The application bar is the bar over here. And here you can go to your panel and go to the files. All files in Fusion 360 are in the cloud. So you can save it in the cloud, and on any device you can look to your files, and you can share them with other people. So it's a great way to use your files. Well, so this is the application bar. Of course, we have a toolbar, and the toolbar has got panels with tools on it. The most used tools you can put on top, but there are also tools beneath. And if you want to have one on top, like the sweep, you can go to the points over here, and you can say pin it to the toolbar. Yeah, so then it will appear above. So there are a lot of tools, and these tools are divided by the workspace you are in. So right now I'm in the design workspace, and we have solid, surface modeling, mesh modeling, sheet metal, plastic, etc. But we are working in the design workspace. Today, I will show you the design workspace, but I also will show you the render workspace and the manufacture workspace. And yeah, these workspaces have another set of comments. So, okay, you will see it shortly. Okay, when you want some help, there is a community in Fusion 360, and you can find it on the right side of your screen. Here you have your communication center. You will see the updates, but you will also see the help. And when you go to the help, you can see a learning panel, learning and documentation, but also the community. So if you want to learn more from Fusion, this is the way to go. There are some quick tips. There is a lot on the internet about Fusion 360. Okay, so that is the profile and help. You can also see that I'm logged in with my Autodesk account. The preferences are here. Yeah, that's what you can see over here. And then we have a navigation bar underneath. And this navigation bar, here you can zoom in, zoom out, but I'm using my mouse and I will show you shortly how to use that. But you can also see the display settings over here if I want a shaded model or a wireframe, the environments, the effects, do I want a ground shadow or not, the object visibilities I can do over here. And maybe if I want a grid or something, I can put that on. And I can even have multiple viewports. But today I will only work in this 3D workport. We also have a browser, and in the browser we will see the origin, but we also see the sketches, the solid bodies, the parts I'm going to make, we will see over here. And underneath we have a timeline. And if I'm creating something, this timeline will show everything I've done. Yeah, of course, we have a canvas where the 3D model will be shown. And we have the marking menu, and the marking menu is the right mouse button click menu. So when I click on the right mouse button, I have a menu over here, where I can show some comments. We also have a view cube over here. And to show you, I will create something. So if I'm going to create something, I'm going to the create on the design panel. So I go to create, and now I can create, for example, a box, a simple box. And this is a comment. And now it will ask me which plane I want to start the box. So I'm selecting the ground plane. And now I can place the first corner and the second corner. And I can give dimensions on it straight away. So I can say 50 by 50, for example. And now you will see the box over here. And of course, I can change everything. So I have these arrows to change anything I'd like to do. And it will create a new body. In Fusion, we can create new bodies, or we can create new components. So a component is a part. So when I say new body, I can now I have something, and I have a part over here. You can see it is a part. It's not saved yet, but I can change things now. So I can go to this line, for example, push my right mouse button and say I want to create a fillet. Yeah, we can also put it above. We have these arrows again to create it, and just say 5, and it will create a fillet for me. Yeah, so this is a body or a solid. So you can see it over here, and in the browser I can say I want to see it or not. Yeah, it is a part, but I can create a part from this body, and then this will become an assembly. So when I go over here and I say I want to create a part of it, then then I can create it. So I can create components from bodies, and now it is a component, and this is an assembly. So in this component, I can rename it, example, something like that. Yeah, and I can ground it. And when I ground it, I did it with the right mouse button. It is over here, and you can see that it will not move anymore. And I can create a copy of it. Just using the right mouse button, I can say copy. And you can also use your keyboard Control V to create a copy. And you can see I can move this copy around. But when I say OK, you can see I can still move it around because it's not grounded and this one is grounded. So now I have an assembly with two of the same parts. Well, what I can do now is go to the joint function to create this assembly. So I go to create a joint, and I can, for example, say I want this middle point over here connected to this middle point over here. And now it will go over there, and we can create a motion in it. Now it's rigid. When it's rigid, it cannot move, but I can, for example, say no, I want to have it revolve. So when I use revolve, you will see what it will do. And I can also limit this motion, but I will do not limit it for now. So when I go over here, you can see I can still move it around. So very simple. It's not that difficult to learn, to create something, to create an assembly, and to create something like that. So now for the view cube. You see I'm turning around everything. I'm using a 3D Connection 3D mouse, but there is another way to move around in this environment. If you have a mouse, you can use your middle mouse wheel to zoom in and zoom out. First, you have to go to the point you're interested in. So when I'm interested in this lower point, I can go with my cursor to this point, and then I can zoom in and zoom out by turning my mouse wheel. Yeah, if I'm interested in the top part, I go with my cursor to the top part and use my mouse button. We can also pan. Pan is by clicking the mouse button. So when I click the mouse button, you will see a hand, and I can move it around. And of course, we have to turn, and we have to rotate our model. And we can also do that by pressing Shift and the mouse button. And you can see I can rotate it around. But I can also use the view cube. It's in the right corner, right above corner over here. And when I go to the view cube, I can click on it, hold my mouse button, and then I can also rotate it. But mostly it is used to go to the front view or to an isometric view just by clicking on the points or surfaces of the view cube, and I can rotate it around. We also have a home button where we can go back. So now we know how to zoom in and out, and we know how to rotate it and pan it and use the view cube. Okay. The next step is showing you how basic modeling works. And it is a Christmas theme, so I will create a candle stand, and I will show you how to create features, how to create 2D sketches, and I'm going to show you how you use the browser and timeline and making changes. Well, I already told you about solids, components, and assemblies. So let's go to this part. And today we will use this part in a 3D render when it's created. And we are also going to create it on a Turing machine. So let's go. When I go to Fusion, I can create a new part by pressing over here, New Design. And here I have a new part. So first of all, we are going to create the base of the candle, and this base will be created from a cylinder. So when I go to the cylinder, just like I did with the box, I can create a cylinder, and first it will ask me, where do you want to put your cylinder's base? Well, of course, I'm going to use the ground plane now. Look at the view cube, top, front, right. So I can put it over here. And now it says, where do you want to start it? So I will start it at the center point. And I can give it a dimension. When I'm using this dimension, I say it will be 80, so in diameter. And it's over here. And here is the arrow again. I can create the cylinder over here, and I can put in that I wanted to be 10 mils the base. So this is basically the first cylinder over there, and now we have a part created. Of course, you can save your part, and I went to the data panel, but the save button is over here, and I can give it a name like candle holder. And it will save in the cloud on my location Christmas training. So I'm going to save it, and you will see it over here. Fusion also knows versions. So this is version 1, but I can, when I save it again, it will be version 2, and I can always go back to these saved versions, and I can also create milestones. I will show you later on. So next, I want to have a second feature on my timeline. And this second feature, I will first create a 2D sketch. 3D models consist of a 2D sketch or can consist of 2D sketches. And I can create this sketch. Once again, when I going to create this sketch, I can say on which plane I want to start this sketch. And this is like a 2D drawing. So I'm looking at the 2D sketch now. And on the right, you see my sketch palette. And one of the things I can do, I can slice it. Yeah, and when I slice it, you will see that it will be sliced. And you see I have draw tools available now. So I can use these draw tools to create something. So what I can do, I can project the lines I've here. So these are now in my sketch, these lines over here, and I can use the line function to create what I want to create. So I can go over here. You can put in dimensions right away, but it's not necessary. I can also first draw the form I want, like this. And you will see as soon as Fusion sees a closed a closed loop, it will become blue. So you know it is a closed loop now. Well, because I want to revolve this, I'm going to create a center line of this line. So we have a normal line, but we can also create center lines. And now I can put in the dimensions. The dimensions are also part of the sketch environment. And I can create a dimension like this, put it in, and you will see my sketch will change. If I say, for example, it should be 10, it will become exactly 10. And of course, I can also do other things, like I'm going to dimension this point to my center line. And I can also give this this a name. So I can say, for example, a diameter equals 30. And now this is the diameter, and I can use this diameter again. So it's a parametric design, and I will show you shortly how we can change this. But first, let's create this candle. So I can finish this sketch, and now you see my sketch over here, and I can use the revolve function to create the rest of the base of my example. So when I go to create and use the revolve function, it will recognize my closed loop, and it will recognize my center line. So it will create this form, and it will join it to the existing solid. So when I go over here, we still have one solid, and so it's one body, and it consists of a cylinder, a sketch, and a revolve function. And we can see this here in the timeline. So over here, you see the timeline of my part that I'm creating. If I want to change something, I can go back into this timeline and edit the sketch, for example. So when I go over here, I can say edit sketch or double click, and now I can change things. So when I want to change this to 12 mils, it will become 12. And when I finish the sketch, everything is changed. I can go back again, double click on it, double click on the dimension, and change it to 10 again. So when I finish this sketch, I can create the rest of my candle just by creating a cylinder again and join it to the existing body. So for my face, I'm now going to say the top face of this one, and I can go over here, place the center point, and put it over here, the diameter. But I can also say it should be diameter. And you will see when I'm typing, it's starting to say, hey, diameter from sketch 2, is that the dimension you want? Yes, and that's why I created that. And now I can go over here and create something like 50 or 60 mils, maybe 60 or 50 will be great. We can always change it later on, and I can say okay. Yeah, so if I want to make changes again, I do want to make it 60 mil, I can go over here and say 60, not a problem. Yeah, so there it is. And of course, when it's a candle holder, it should have a hole in it. So we have this hole function over here, and I can create a hole on the top. And when I push my mouse button, it will be not in the middle, but it will come where I put my mouse. So I'm going to take this point, and I can go to the middle, and it will snap to the midpoint over there. And now I can change the diameter. So let's say 20, and we can go over here and say, well, it should be 25 or so, or something like that. Yeah, just like you want to have it, and we can say okay. So it's looking a bit like a candle, but I want to create some fillets. We have a fillet function over here. You can also go to the F. Just that's a fast button. But I will take the fillet over here, and I will put it on this side. And here is my arrow again, and I can say, oh, well, a 20 looks great. So I will make this 20, and I want to create another fillet. So that's one of the things you can do. When you click on this one and push your right mouse button, the mostly used comments are also here. So we can see the fillet or the chamfer comment over here, and I can go over there and say 5. And the same thing I can do with a chamfer. So maybe I want a chamfer over here and create the chamfer, and it will be, well, like 2 mils or something like that. And I can save my candle again for now, my candle holder. And when I save it again, you will see it is user saved version description, but I can say, okay, I can give it any name I want. I can also say it is a milestone, but it's not a milestone yet because we have to give it a material or look into the material and give it a service finish. So I'm not going to create a milestone yet, just going to save it and say okay. And if you go to your data panel, you will see that it is saved and there is version 2. You can also see that 9 minutes ago the item was created and 5 seconds ago I created this one. So for now, I will. Yeah, I'm happy with the candle, and we will look into the other things. Go back to the PowerPoint again. So we have done the basic modeling of the base, and now we will create a render of it in a scene. So I have created a scene with a few Christmas bulbs in it, and I will show you about materials and appearances. I will show you the render workspace. I will show you how to set up a scene, how to create a canvas render, and then we can create the final render, and this can be done locally or it can be done in the cloud. So first of all, the materials. So I'll go back to my candle, and this candle already has a material assigned to it. When we go to the assemble panel, the modify panel, we can see the physical materials. And when I open this physical materials, you will see there is a lot of materials over here. You can see when I go to this part that at this moment it is steel. So it's from steel, so maybe that is good, but we have a lot of materials over here. We can, for example, create it from ceramic or maybe from aluminium. And what you can do, you can go to your part and just get the aluminium with your mouse button and go to the part and release. So now it's aluminium. And you see in this design, we have now steel and aluminium. When you want to create steel of all the aluminium parts, you can also go over here and move it over here. And now everything is steel again. Yeah, so this is for a material, and a material has a lot of settings. When I go to the steel and double click it, you will see the density of the steel, but I can also go to the advanced panel and you will see that every material has an appearance. So that's how it looks. And it has also physical properties, like the mechanical properties, the density is there, the Young's modulus is there. The strength is also there. So we can use simulation tools, for example, to see if it's strong enough. But for now, this will be enough. It is steel, but yeah, I don't want it in my scene to have this steel look. So we have something else, and that is how does it look? So the appearance, and it's also beneath the modified tools. I can see the appearance over here, and you can also see that the A is the fast key for it, so the short key. So when I go to the appearance, and we see the appearance of the material, and we see in our document, of course, there is a steel and an aluminium appearance, but there are a lot of appearances, and I can search for it. And because it's Christmas, I want to have it a metallic flake look. So I'm looking for flake over here, and we see a lot of paints over here. So we can choose the paint we like, and we see some appearances are downloaded, some are not. So I've never used the Paint Metal Flake Blue yet. So it's grayed out, but when you press this button over here, it will download it to your local Fusion, and now you can use it. So for now, I will use the green flakes. How does this work? Well, as a matter of fact, the same as a material, but you can look over here and see if it's for bodies or components. So in this case, it is for the body or the component, or you can create separate faces. So have faces another appearance. Yeah, every face can have another appearance, but I will create a whole candle in this Paint Metal Flake look. So when I put it over here and I release my mouse button, you will see that it has this great metal flake look to it. So now we want to use this in a scene. Well, this is not an assembly yet, but I can use parts in an assembly. I can create parts in an assembly, but I can also use this part, for example, in an assembly. So I will save it again. Now it's there. So it's not the user saved only, it's a milestone. So I can say it's milestone version 3, or I can say my candle holder is ready, or something like that. Yeah, so it's a milestone, and now I can use it. So when I go to my data panel, I can open a scene, and this scene I've already made it. I will push this down. So I have this Christmas scene over here, and in this Christmas scene, there are some Christmas bulbs, bubbles, and there is a LED light over here. A LED light, yeah, how can you create LED lights? There are appearances which can eliminate, are self-eliminating. So in this case, this is wax, but I've put a LED in and I've put glass around it. So you will see the LED light over here. So when I push the A button for the appearances, you will see over here there is a LED, and you can change this LED also. So when I search in the appearance library for a LED, you will see there are some LED lights over here, and you can use them, and you can change them if you like. So I've made this one warm yellow. So when I double click it, you will see it has a warm yellow color because it's Christmas. It should be yellow, and you can put in the luminance. You can also go to advanced, but I will not get into that. But this LED over here, and this will create light in my render scene. So now we have to put in the candle holder. So I will go to my data panel, and I can go to my candle holder that I just created, and just go over here and put it in my scene. It will be here, and as you can see, the Z-axis and the Y-axis are not the same over here, but I have these buttons over here to say I want to have it straight up like this. And I can also move it around. So when I say I want to set the pivot, I can set the pivot over here and say okay. And then I can move it, for example, point to point. So point to point, where I can say I want this middle point over here. I want to go to my origin and put it over here. So now it's in the middle, and you can see it over here in my assembly, and I can ground it so it will not move around again. So I say ground. Yeah. So when I want to have this candle, it can move around. So I want to put this candle in my newly created candle holder. So I can go to my joints. So over here are my joints, and I can create a joint, and I can say I want this point over here, this middle point over here. I want to put it right here, and there is my candle, and press OK. The motion is revolute now, but I can say no, it should be rigid. And when I press OK, my candle is ready. Okay, so we have the scene, and now we can look at the scene. In Fusion, we can go to the view cube and push the right mouse button, and we are seeing it now in perspective mode. You can also go to orthographic, but we want to have it in perspective mode, of course. And we can go over here and zoom in and create a scene we like. So something like this, or we want to see this, and we want if we have a nice view, we can also save this view. So if we look at the named views, we see a render view already, but with the right mouse button, I can create a new named view, and I can say it's my course view or something like that. So I can now go to the top view, but this view is now saved. So when I click on the course view, it will go to this view again, and I already picked something like this. But yeah, it's a bit the same. So the course view is there. And now I want to make a render of it. So a realistic photo render. So at this moment, it's looking great, but it's not a render. It's not photorealistic. It's handled by my graphic card, and it's fast. I can turn around, do everything I want. But I also can go to a workspace to create a photorealistic a picture of it. So I go to the render workspace, or render environment maybe. Yeah, so it's called the workspace, and here you can see that there is a workspace, and I've also created a Christmas theme on the background. So it's looking great already, but it's still not a photorealistic render. You can see it on this green over here. It looks great, but it's not a render yet. We have to to render it in the canvas. So I will show you something that we can do in this render environment. The first button over here is the appearance again, but I already put in the right appearances, so this is great. So we don't have to do anything about it. The second thing is the scene settings. And in the scene settings, you will see this menu over here. And in the scene settings, I can change the brightness, for example. So I've put it in 300 because it's Christmas. It should be a bit dark, so I can see this this LED light over here. But on default, it will be 1000. So we can, yeah, put on the light or put off the light. But I think 300 is great. We also see this environment. And Fusion comes with a few environments over here. So you can choose it just by dragging it over here. So drag it in and it will do that. But you can also attach a custom environment. And this custom environment are EXR files or HDR files. You can find them on the internet for free. You can also, there are also sites where you can buy them. In this case, I've chosen a Christmas photo studio environment, which I downloaded from the internet, and it's in there. When I go back to the settings, we have a few options over there. So should we see the background or just a solid color? Well, of course, and I can choose the color by RGB. So red, green, and blue things. But I'm of course I'm going to use this environment for my photorealistic render. We have this ground plane over here. So we see the ground plane, yes or no, yeah. And flattened ground, always use flattened ground when rendering. When you don't, it will look, yeah, you should have the flattened ground over here. I want to reflect the floor a little bit, so you see reflections on the floor. You can put in the roughness of it. So when I go to 0.1, it's a little bit less rough, but I will do it on 0.2. We have a camera over here. So now it's a 90mm lens, but we can also say no, it should be a zoom lens, or it should come closer as something like this. So we can do that. We have the exposure over here. So I can create the exposure to create more or less light over here. You see it here. So, but I think around 9 should be okay. And we can create a depth of field. And if you compare it to a program like Inventor, Autodesk Inventor, Inventor can also render your environment, but it's not capable of this depth of field. And it's very simple. When we have a depth of field, we can center the focus. So I can say, where is my focus point? So maybe it's on the candle over here. You will see a little green dot. I can put it over here. You can see this little green dot, and there the picture will be sharp, and things close to the camera will be blurred. And in the background also things will be blurred, and then that will be yeah, then you will have a spectacular render, I think. So we have created the scene now. We can of course say I want to move it a bit around, but I think it's great for now. And we can yeah, we can try to render it. And when we are going to render it, I always use the in-canvas render first. So when I do the in-canvas render, my laptop in this case will render the scene straight away. So just my view will be rendered. And at first it will be very blurry, but it will get better and better and better. I already can see that the light is working. I can also see that, if I like my scene or not. You can also see that this front Christmas bubble is a little bit blurry, while my candle stand is okay. So it's sharp. So what I can do now is stop the in-canvas render. You will see over here, I can pause it, I can stop it, I can save it if I like. So I can go on a lunch and wait till it's excellent or final. But yeah, that's not what I'm pretending to do. I'm just using it to see if my scene is okay or not. And now I can stop the in-canvas render and say I want to render it for real. So that's the little teapot over here to render it for real. And there I have my render settings. And there are some I can create custom aspect ratios and things like that. But for now, I can say, oh, I want it on a website. And I want it, for example, ja, 1024 keer. So this one or this one, 1.3 megapixel. I think that's great. And I can now use the cloud renderer of Autodesk or a local renderer. When I push my local renderer and I say render, my computer will render the image at the background, but it will take resources from my computer. So I can also say, no, I want a cloud render. And when I have a 1.3 megapixel, I can do this for free. Yeah. When I want to have a print of it, and it should be very big, 8.4 megapixel, it requires Flex tokens. Yeah, you can buy the Flex tokens, and then you can render it. So a Flex token is from Autodesk. It's like virtual money. Yeah, so you can buy Flex tokens, and then you can use it. But yeah, I want to have 1280 by 1024, so 1.3 megapixel, and then it's not required to use any Flex token. So I can render it now, and then it will save my document, put it into the cloud, and then it will come back. So I can go on and make another one. So I can go over here and say, well, I want the light through my bulb over here, and I can create another render and just say another cloud render, and look how it will become. You can see the renders in the render gallery. So you see that it's working at the moment in the cloud, but I can also see it in the cloud how far it is. So you will see the blurry thing, but you don't have to do that. We can go back and look later. It can it can take up to 5 or a few minutes, but my resources are not used. So I can go back to my design environment and do other things with Fusion, like making this candle. So and we will go back to the cloud render to see how the render looks. Yeah. Okay. Let's go back to the PowerPoint and look at the manufacture. So if you want to turn or mill your product, it's also possible to do it with Fusion. So Fusion 360 is a package with, it's an all-in package, I would say. So our candle should be made on a CNC turning machine. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you the general concepts first. So just some general concepts of using the tools. I will show you the tool library. I will show you how to create a setup. I'm going to create toolpath, and I'm going to simulate. And after that, I'm going to create a setup sheet and the NC code using a post processor. So it's a lot, but it's not that difficult. So first, the general concepts. Just some terms here, the general concepts. I'm using a CAD system. Fusion is a CAD system, Inventor is, AutoCAD is. So CAD is standing for Computer Aided Design, and it is used to create, analyze, and optimize a design using a computer. Yeah, you also have CAM, and CAM is Computer Aided Manufacturing. So that's in this case, it's generate toolpath and CNC code of your design, also using a computer, of course. So we're using CAD CAM. These are the words, the general concepts. You also heard me tell about CNC. CNC is standing for Computer Numeric Control. And it's a computerized manufacturing process in which pre-programmed software and code controls the movement of production equipment. So a CNC machine, I think we all heard about it, but I will show you shortly in the simulation. If we want to create a program for the machine, a machine needs G-code, and G-code is the CNC code, but it's unique for a specific machine. So you need a post processor to translate your CNC data to the proper G-code for your machine. So these are the general concepts, and we will go to our model again and see live how we can create it. So I go back to my candle holder over here, and I want to create it. So we go to the manufacturer environment, and we have over here the tools for manufacturing, and it's on turning, but you can also see milling tools over here. But today I will show you turning because, of course, I'm going to use a turning machine to create this. And it all starts with a setup. So I can create a new setup, and in this setup, I can tell a few things. First of all, I'm going to tell that I'm not milling, but I'm turning or mill turn. So I'm using turning over here, and it's on the primary spindle. I can create the orientation, but you see Inventor already, Fusion already created the right configuration. The Z-axis is over here. That's great, but I can change it if I want. Because there's only one body, it shows this body over here. It's already created the body, so nothing to do over here. And then we have the stock material. And the stock material, that's the basic material where I'm starting from. And it can be a fixed size. but it can also be a relative size cylinder. Over here, and I can change it because now it's the stock diameter is 80 mils. Well, it's great. I can use this, but the length, I think it should be it should be longer. So I can make it, for example, 100 or something like that. And we can also see where the model is. And I think in this case, the model should not be in the center, but an offset from front. For example, an offset of 3 mils. So now I can, or maybe 2 or 1, yeah. So, and it will be round up to the next 10 mils. So now my model is 80 centimeters by 100. And we have this post processor over here. So we can create a name for it. So I can say it's my program name is 103, and I can put in a comment. Everything in this environment, when you go and you do nothing, it will show you some help. And this will help you because there are a lot of settings over here. Of course, you have your internet where you can see everything, but I can create a comment, but we see it will be in the program. Dus we can say Merry Christmas over here, and it will show in my program. So, oh, don't know what I did. Yeah, there it is again. Merry Christmas. Ah, all right. We have the offset, but when I say OK, yeah, there is a setup created. And of course, I have to create yeah, using a lot of tools. So you can create your own tool library. For now, I will use the example tool library in Inventor. But when I go to a tool library, you can see you can have your local or cloud libraries over here. But Fusion comes out of the box with some tool libraries. And of course, I'm using the Turning Tools metric now. And you can see the tools over here. And every tool, yeah, you can configure completely like the one you want to have. So when I go to O'Day grooving or something like that, and I double click it, it will show me the settings. So here you can see it's turning. We can create a holder. We can have the cutting data prepared, and which post processor is used. What is its number in the machine? Things like that. Yeah, so it's great to see. Okay, then I will go to yeah, to create it. So I have the setup over here, and the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to turn the face. So the 2 mils is over here, and I have a flat surface. So first I have to select a tool. So I go to this tool and search for my turning tools, and I want to have the O'Day grooving, for example, and select it. Yeah. When I press OK, this is enough for now. It will create the path by itself by every setting over here. I can change the settings if I want with these things, but it's good. And I say OK. And when I push OK, you will see in green my stock material. And now I can look if it's working. So we see the face over here, phase 1, and I can go with my route button and say I want to simulate it. And when I'm simulating it, you will see it will turn. And you can also see when I use the mouse button that it can go over here, and in blue there is material, and when it's green it's on site. So you can see it is working. You can also use the play button and it will play an animation, but I can look to it and I can also see the statistics. Thus we have the info over here with the position. We have various info over here and the statistic like the machining time and the machining distance. So I can exit the simulation and go to the next phase. And the next phase is roughing up. So I want to go to roughing, and again select a tool. So in this case, of course, I want to select another tool. Just go to Turning Tools Metric again, and go to my right hand. So here's my tool, and once again I can do something like over here. When I go to the passes, you see the maximum depth of every pass is 1.2 mils. Yeah, but maybe my machine can go 3 mils at a time. I can do that over here. And we also have stock to leave because it's roughing. I want to have some stock left, and that I will do. That I will turn later on its precise dimension. But yeah, 0.1 is not that much. So I say the last could be half a mil or something like that. And when I say okay, it will generate the path for me again. And I can simulate it again. And when I'm going to simulate it, you can also see the green button over here. And when it's green, yeah, then everything is all right. So great. For now, we have no collisions or other things. It looks great. So when I've done this, we can go to the next step. And the next step is I want to create the hole. So I'm going to drill a hole. And of course, I have to select a tool again. And it should be a drill. And it should be a drill. So I go to the Fusion library. Here are all my drills. But now I can say I want to have a drill. I know the diameter because it's 20. I can also measure it, but I can look for a drill at 20 millimeter, and here it is, my 20 mil drill. So I'm going to use this drill and say select. So there it is. And of course, now I have to say what should it drill. So it should drill these faces over here. And what is the cycle? So when I'm using it now, it's drilling rapid out. So it will drill the hole and go straight out. But there are a lot of other things like chip breaking. So I'm going to do the chip breaking with a partial retract. And then it will go in 5 mils, go back, go in again. Yeah, so that's chip breaking. So when I'm doing that, we can do it, and we can again simulate it. So simulate it again, just the drilling, and you will see it will drill it. So it can drill it at once, so no chip breaking. But you can see it is done. So now we can finish our part by turning cut off the part. But when I cut off this part, I can say okay again. But when I do this, I can simulate this again. And when I simulate it, we will see that there is a little red mark over here. And I can play it also, and you will see that the tool is becoming red. Yeah. What is happening over there? Well, I can look at it now, and I see in red, when I go to the red in the slider over here, it said holder collides with stock. So I can click on it, and it will go to the bad situation over here, and we can see indeed that it's not going. It's going to hit my stock over here. So I should, yeah, go to my tool and edit the tool over here. So I can exit my simulation, go into this this cutting part, and select the tool. I can also go to the tool over here, but you can also straightly change the tool just by clicking and say edit tool. So when we look at the tool we are using, I can go to the holder over here, and you see the head length is 32 mils. Yeah, we had a base of 80 mils, so I say it should be 42, and we can accept it. So now it should be regenerated. So I regenerate my whole setup, generate it, say yes, and again simulate the last part, and now it's all okay. So I think we have everything there. I will simulate the complete setup, so I can simulate this again and go over here, and we see everything. It's roughing. I forgot to make it precise. Yeah, so we have to make it precise again. So we can go and say, I want to have the profile finish. You see the profile finish over here. Of course, I can select the tool, and it's my document tool. It's this one I want to have. And when we go to the passes, there is no stock to leave, of course, and I can press OK. But of course, it's not in the right order over here. So what I can do now is go over here and put it on its right place. Right after the roughing, I do the profile finishing. And I can simulate it again just to look into it if everything is okay. Well, this looks nice. So it is okay. I can go to the statistics. I can see the machining time and everything. But for now, it's okay. So I'm going to save it again. It's a user saved. It's not a milestone, but it's a user saved. So it's within my part. And I can now create a setup sheet. What is a setup sheet? It's over here, and a setup sheet is an HTML page, so a web page, where I can see what is used. So I will put it over there so you can see it. So you see setup sheet for program 1003, a program comment Merry Christmas, setup one, it's candle holder. You can see the stock material that is used, the part size, everything over here. In total, 5 operation, 3 tools. Tools are in T1, T2, and T3. The feed rate, the tools that are used, so we can set up our machine correctly. And here are the 5 steps we are using the operations. Yeah, so this is a setup sheet we can give to our machine holder, and it's over there. And yeah, last but not least, we have to create the CNC program. So it's over here, post-process. And now I can have a post-processor. I've chosen the Haas ST10 the last time, and I think it's okay. But if you look into it, there are a lot of post-processors. So if we go to the Fusion library over here, there are a lot of post-processors available. So you can see Fanuc or any other things. You can also say I just want turning over here, then it will show all the turning post processors that are there. But for me, it's the Haas ST10Y I'm using. You can see the program number here, so I can say it should be 103. The output, everything. Also the configuration. So what am I using? Use tailstock, got chip conveyor, yes or no? Well, I've got no chip conveyor. So things like that I can do. Air clean chucks. So here are settings for your program. And we have a tab with the operations. So we see the operations over here, and I will create a program for all operations, of course. So I going to post this one and override the existing one, and I can view the NC code, and there it is. So you will see the code over here, the profile roughing, the profile finishing, the drill action, the part, and part eject. So program is there, and we can put it on our machine and create the candle for Christmas. So, well, I think we've seen a lot. One thing I want to show you is why we should do this in Fusion 360 or in our CAD program. That is because when we are going to change things, we also want to change the program. And because it's one program, it will be great to see when I'm going to change something. So I go back to my design, and I'm going to change something. So like this. Like this feature over here, I think it's too big. It should be 15. So over there, and I can also make it bigger. So when I go to this one over here, maybe I want this 80. Well, you get a picture, and when I save it, I can go back to my manufacturer, and you will see it is out of date. But I can go over here and recreate it. And of course, I can do some changes, because in the setup I have created, because it was not relative, but a fixed size. Yeah, maybe I should make it bigger over here. So say 120. Yeah. I could also use a relative size, then it would grow with the part. But for now, yeah, I think this is good. I can simulate it again to see if it's okay. And yeah, so far so good. Great. So it's looking great, and I can recreate the NC program. And we see the NC program over here, but it is out of date. So I can exit the simulation. and create my new program just by pressing the post processor, say post, say I want to overwrite it, and here is my new code. Yeah, so great to see. Before we go to the questions, we first go to the render environment again. Oh, sorry. Of course, the render environment is on this scene. Yeah. So I go back to the render environment, and we see the renders are there. So here we have the first render, and we can download it. And we can download it as a PNG or JPEG or anything like that. So I will download this one, and I can, of course, save it to my computer. And also this one, I can look into it. Well, it's not that great. It's a bit blurry. So I will not use this one because it's too blurry. Okay, when we go to see the picture, I will go to my renders and look at the picture. So it's which one it was? This one, I think. No, it should be the green one. These are there it is. Yeah. So here you can see the picture it has made. It's a photorealistic picture. So yeah, we have come to the end of this course. So Niels, are there any questions unanswered? Niels, I don't hear your microphone. I think there are a lot of questions in, but
there were a lot of questions, but I think I answered most of them. But there's still a few questions coming in, actually.
Okay. Let's look at the questions. Very nice presentations. Have you made similar presentations for 3D printing as well? Well, 3D printing is one of my hobbies. I have a 3D printer in private, and Fusion 360 is capable of 3D printing. Of course, we can create it, and it's not that difficult. Of course, when you are 3D printing, you have to have a slicer program, but designing it's not a problem. So when we go to our model again, so for example, where it is, it will, well, I should take it over here, the candle holder. Yep. So when I go to my design from my candle holder, it's you have to export it to a 3MF file or an STL file. And it's over here on the panel. You can go to File, and you can say 3D print it. So it's easy like that. I can select the body I want, and I can change the format to 3MF or STL. This is necessary, and we can preview the mesh over here. So it's in high quality now, and now I can send it to my slicer program for 3D printing. If you have a metal printer, you can also do it with Fusion itself. But for my private printer is a Bambu Labs, and I will create just in PLA, for example. So then I can use this 3D print utility, and I can say it's a Bambu Labs or it is a Prusa or something like that. Or I can say I don't do this, and then it will just give me this file, and I can open this file in in my 3D slicer program. So that's one of the questions. How do the CAM operations add a fixture holder? Okay, that's also a good question. When you have a I should. When you have a holder, you can import it, have an STL file imported or something like that, and you can create it over here. So when I go to the design, what I've done over here, I have a machine clamp. And I have my stock material, and I can put the clamp over here. You can see I can make it movable. It was an STL file, but I've made it movable. And you can see the clamp now. And when I go to my design, just go to my manufacturing design, you can see that it is over there. And in my setup, when I go to the setup, we can say what is the stock material. So you can also choose the stock from a base, but you can also say what is the fixture over here. And when I use this fixture, then so I can say this is the fixture. I've done that over here. And when we generate the setup, in this case, it's of course it is milling. But now we can see the fixture as well, and we can even simulate it with the machine. So you can even have the machine integrated over here. So when we are going to simulate it, you can show the fixture and also the machine, and collisions with the fixture it will also show. So okay. Is it possible to make? There are a lot of questions. I will go through them. Will we get a recording? Did you answer that already, Niels?
A couple of times, yeah. So
yeah.
The recording will be shared later with everyone.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. When we go back to this fixture, you can see there are some collisions with the fixture over here. So if I go over here, we can see now there is a collision with the fixture. I've done that on purpose, of course, but you can see it over here. And it will say it collides with the fixture. So it's great to see. And yeah, also we can if there is a machine over here, we can show the machine also. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Is there any advances in using plastic environments for 3D printing? Well, the plastic environment is more, has got a lot of extra tools, but it's more for you can see it over here, like geometric patterns or something like that. It can be handy when using 3D printing. So you can see you can create lips and things like that, and snap fits. So you can use it for any plastic, but it has a lot of tools to create webs and things like that. So just extra tools, rests, lips, snap fits. So these are the extra tools, and you of course you can use this in 3D printing also. Yeah, yeah. Is there also one for 2D cutting with text canvas? Well, when I go to the simulation and the manufacturing environment, we also we have turning, but we also have the 3D printing over here, and you can also create laser programs. Like so. Yeah. Mikkel, you see, I've been using Fusion 360 for some time now, and the mail tool library needs some enhancements. Any plans for that? I don't know for sure. I'm from NTI Cat & Company, not from Autodesk. I know there is a lot happening for 4-axis milling and also turning, for sure. Fusion updates regularly. Yeah, I know they are working on the milling tools, but I don't know for sure which tools are coming yet. Yeah. What model of Bambu Lab do you use? I've got an X1 Carbon. Yeah, okay. What 3D printer do you use or recommend? Yeah, I had a Prusa, but now I'm into the Bambu Labs, and for private use, that's a great printer. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. This extra tool is not shown in the. Don't know which tool you are talking about, Henrik. Okay. Now, I think these are the questions. When I go back to the PowerPoint, the questions are there. I'd like to thank you all. I had a great time. I hope you learned something too. So thanks, and a Merry Christmas. Have a great time, and thanks to you all.